So the poem I want to read today, I wrote, and I wrote it on the heels of becoming a father for the first time, and just there were so many emotions and just so much internal tumult, I guess you could say, and it was it took a while to write this piece. Some poems just come just like that, and some take a lot of work. And I'm always worried that the ones that take a lot of work aren't going to be as good. But this, I'm probably the most proud of this one. So I'm gonna read it now. Just dive right in, and then I'll give some of my own thoughts afterwards about it. It's called "The Song of Abraham." Had I been dead to life so long, selfish self, hoarding time, cast away with nothing but calm ocean and sun, bidding farewell to the shores of creation. Yet thank the Lord of all for her gentle breath, sending my raft across the sea to new beach, new sand, and there she delivered a son. His first breath and mine, resurrected, I built a house before the treeline, wary of dark jungles, desirous to devour my new joy. Bring him out! Bring him out! Give him over to needles, pills, and rifles. Bring him to the mount, strike him down, submit his body to war. Throw it on the ashes of history books for other children to learn what happened, but never to read his name. And seeing this and hearing well, fear settled on my waking thoughts and disturbed my nightly rest. For though spirit be immortal, imagination may dream of endless death. And as I stood before the trees, listening to the echoed words, a gentle breeze came again, and I was pulled once more from cast-off places. Now, with only rustling leaves, I knelt before my son and said, "You will live beautifully, if you wish it. Your sword, clean hands. Your shield, a clear mind. Your armor, to love despite all." And these three gifts given, I stood and turned again to face the shadowed wood, bordering the sand. And feeling the ebb and flow, the tides of love and dread crisscross my universe in scintillating light, I watched his first steps and prayed, as every father does, that we would meet and always meet again on the open beach of home. So that's the Song of Abraham, and the reason for the title, Abraham from the Bible, he was tested by God, in a story or a parable, or however you want to take it, to sacrifice his eldest son, Abraham, like to take him up to the sacrificial mount where they had given, I believe, animals and food and different things to God and sacrificed those things for the bounty that they were given. And so an angel came to Abraham and said, "God says, sacrifice your son." And so Abraham, ever faithful, takes his son right on up the mountain, is going to sacrifice him. And then an angel stays his hand and says, essentially, I think he's passed the test that God has set before him. And so that's what the story was about. And after Henry was born, and there he is in life, and he's always been healthy and fine, and there's never been an accident or anything like, oh my gosh, or a big health scare of any kind. And yet nearly every single day of his life, I have worried about his health and safety. In some form or another, I have had a thought about it. And that's counterbalanced with this tremendous worry, counterbalanced with this tremendous joy and love that I get to experience every single day as well. I mean, every day I wake up and I'm just incredibly happy to see him and for him to be here. So it's been this just unbelievable, not roller coaster, I guess, kind of, and stress, you could say, that I've experienced ever since he's been alive. And before becoming a father, I was very ambivalent about having children, and then that changed a little bit shortly before he was born, and then when he was born, it completely changed. And ever since then, I mean, that line, the only line I stumbled on, for though spirit be immortal, imagination may dream of endless death. Right? I mean, it's cooled off a bit, thanks to my own, spiritual journey that I've taken with my church. I'm a Scientologist. But aside from, so that's helped cool it off a bit, so I don't feel quite as like all the time. But there's still, I don't know. There's still a father's concern, I suppose, or a parent's concern, or something like that. That goes and comes and goes and stuff like that. So that was the main thing there, and that the first section, and you can see in the description below. I should have the whole poem if I can fit it there. Had I been dead to life so long, selfish self, hoarding time, castaway with nothing but calm ocean and sun, bidding farewell to the shores of creation. I spent the first 36 plus years of my life not really caring if I have kids or not or anything like that, just sort of enjoying my time, and creation is for other people, and I can enjoy their children and spend time that way. And then my wife came, and yet thank the Lord of all for her gentle breath, and then with her we created Henry, and she was amazing at that and did that. And then his first breath and mine resurrected. So it was sort of me, and when he came to life and was born, I came to life, and in a way was born again as well. And then creating our life, and then like that. The bring him out, give him over to needles, pills, and rifles. I mean, just where shall he go to school? Is there any place safe to send him where there's not going to be this tremendous amount of false information and false indoctrination and just flat out lies and incorrect things taught to him on an every single day basis, both educationally and socially, and just the whole environment? So it was just this concern, right? The concern of mine. So anyway, that's basically, I think that's basically the main points of the poem and what it's about. That was the 3 lessons taught to him were pretty tough to sort of distill down to what would that be. And obviously I have many more ideas about things that he'll learn along the way. But, the 3 lessons: you will live beautifully if you wish it. Your sword, clean hands. Your shield, a clear mind. Your armor, to love despite all. And I think those are 3 pretty good lessons distilled there. It took a while for me to come to what would I say if I had to poetically describe what I want to impart to him, and I think those are them. And then the very concept of ever watching him leave my sight and my presence unattended is just, it's a little upsetting. So, the tides of love and dread crisscross my universe in scintillating light. It's just electrifying, the very thought of it. So I'm years away from any time where I will allow that to happen, of him walking away from me and going anywhere without his mom or his grandma or myself. But anyway, I guess that's coming down the road. So anyway, that's my poem, The Song of Abraham. I hope you enjoyed it.